Hey folks, how you doing and welcome back to my channel. There we have it, the OnePlus Watch that basically everyone is talking about right now. Now unfortunately I'm not a big YouTuber, so I had to wait till the official release of this watch and didn't get one from OnePlus up front. But now I finally have it and I have to tell you, it is fantastic. It has an SpO2 tracker, optical heart rate sensor, 4 GB of internal storage, onboard GPS so you never get lost in the woods, a strong battery life up to 2 weeks, microphone and a speaker. Now OnePlus is normally known for its smartphones, and with the OnePlus Watch that's their first step on the smartwatch market, and I think they are off to a good start. Now before we jump into the video, don't forget to leave a like and consider subscribing if you want to see more smartwatch reviews. It only takes 2 clicks, it's for free and will help me out a lot. By the way, I upload new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. Now without further ado, let's jump into the top 10 things to know about the OnePlus Watch. So the first and probably the most important point on the list is the pricing. This watch will cost you 159 euros over here in Germany, and it's an insane good price considering all the features that you get with it. So it's the same price range as the Amazfit TRX Pro, as the TicWatch C2 Plus, or the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2. But this one is just better than all of them. And I guess that's all there is to say about the pricing. So let's head to point number 2, which is the design and some specs. This smartwatch has a 1.39-inch AMOLED always-on touch display with a stunning resolution of 454 by 454 pixel. If you don't know, but you only get this kind of resolution with the higher-end smartwatches like the Samsung Galaxy Watch 3. And the Samsung Galaxy Watch 3 costs like 200 euros more. You also have an always-on display, which you did not have right after the release. So OnePlus really is keeping up with the updates. You can get this watch in basically 3 different colors. You can get it in the Moonlight Silver, which is this color right here. You can have it in Midnight Black or in Cobalt Limited Edition, which is not available yet. Like a lot of other smartwatches, you have a quick release feature for the straps, just in case you want to switch things up every now and then. But the fluoelastomer strap that you get with the OnePlus looks super nice, and especially with this cool line pattern on it. So guys, this watch has a bunch of sensors. You have an accelerometer, a gyro, ambient light sensor, you have an air pressure capacitance sensor, blood oxygen, and of course the optical heart rate sensor. So guys, I really cannot think of any other sensor that you can actually have on the smartwatch. You also have built-in GPS, GLONASS, Galileo and Baidu, so you never get lost in the woods. And for last, this watch is water resistant up to 5 ATM, IP68 and has Bluetooth 5.0. Now there's maybe one downside to this watch, which is that you can only get this watch in 46mm with a stainless steel case, which is very big. I mean, I like my watches this way, but maybe you don't, just keep that in mind. Now that we got all of that out of the way, let's head to some features and how accurate they actually are. Now the first one on my list is the optical heart rate sensor, which is probably the most important feature that you can have on any smartwatch, and the SpO2 tracker. So the heart rate tracker tracks your heartbeat 24/7 and it's working very good. I compared this smartwatch to my H10 chest band, and on several workouts my heartbeat was almost spot on. The average heart rate was maybe off by a beat or 2, and the maximum heartbeat was a little too high sometimes, but overall a very good tracker. And now the next tracker on my list is the SpO2 tracker, which does not track all day. You can only have manual measurements, or it automatically measures your blood oxygen during the night. Now you have to go to the settings and enable the watch, since this is not a default function. For the ones that doesn't know what SpO2 is, here's a quick explanation. So SpO2 measures the percentage of oxygenated hemoglobin in your blood to the total amount of hemoglobin. So it's basically an estimate of the amount of oxygen in your blood. And it's also an essential parameter of respiratory function. So everything above 90% is good, and everything above 95% is very good. If you want to know how everything works, how the watch is tracking the SpO2, which people should pay close attention to the SpO2 value, or what may cause inaccurate measurements, just let me know in the comments below, and I think I can make a video just dedicated to this topic. Now the next feature that we will talk about is the activity tracking, or the sport modes. Overall, you have 14 different sport modes to choose from, but OnePlus is planning in a future update to expand that to over 110, which would be insane. So you have stuff like running, walking, cycling, swimming, freestyle training, and a few more. So they basically covered every major sport. On my running workouts, the GPS seemed to be working just fine. Well, you cannot zoom in the OnePlus Health app, but just by looking at it from afar seems to be pretty accurate. Now there are two things to be mentioned, and this is the mileage as well as the steps. They both seem to be a bit off, as I was comparing it to my H10 chest band as well as my Garmin smartwatch. Both the Garmin and the chest band told me I was walking 5.2 kilometers, whereas the OnePlus Watch only gave me 4.2. So that's quite a bit off. But besides that, everything works just fine. Point number 6 on my list is the battery life. So this watch will last for about 14 days on normal usage, or 5 days if you have the blood oxygen night mode turned on. So I've been using this watch pretty heavily over the last couple of days. So I have the brightness on auto adjust, I have the night blood oxygen turned on, I have been receiving a bunch of notifications lately, I've been doing a workout every day, and every second day I've been doing a workout with the GPS turned on. And 5 days seem to be right to me. Next up, we have the easy to change bands, aka the quick release feature. All you have to do is pull back the metal pin on the backside of the watch to release the strap. And if you want to put it back on, it's just as easy. One thing I really struggle with is putting this bad boy on, since it's really not that easy in my opinion. I mean, I'm either doing it wrong, I'm dumb, or it's really just not that easy. If you know better, let me know in the comments below, since I'm kind of lost. As for the next point, we have the compatibility and how to actually navigate on this watch. So this watch is only compatible with Android 6.0 and above. So I'm really sorry for you iOS users, since this is a really great watch. So I'm also not very sure if OnePlus is planning on integrating iOS in the near future, but I'm really hoping so, since this is probably a big knockout criteria for a lot of people. So navigating on this watch is pretty simple and responsive. If you swipe up, you get to your notifications, and you basically get notifications from every app on your smartphone. And through the big screen, they are very easy to read, and even in bright sunlight. Now, if you click on a message, we can open them up and can even quick reply to them. So we cannot write our own text. Swiping down gets us to the quick panel, where we have the Find My Phone feature, D&D mode, flashlight, brightness settings, and our alarms. Swiping right takes us through all of our tiles like my heart rate, sleep, weather widget, and a few more. We can even add some more widgets if we want to, or can just kick some out of the rotations if we want to. The lower button on the smartwatch is a shortcut to one of our apps. Mine is taking me to the sport mode, but you can swap that up anytime you want to. The upper button takes you right to the app menu, or takes you back to the previous page. So the next 2 points on my list are very important, I think. So first up, we got the internal storage as well as the watch faces. So overall, we have 4 GB of internal storage. So we can transfer music files from our smartphone to our smartwatch, and we can create our very own playlist in the OnePlus Health app. Unfortunately, we cannot download any third-party apps, so no Spotify or Deezer, so we gotta stick with the pre-installed apps that we have on the watch. The next thing is the watch faces. So we have quite a few watch faces to choose from, maybe not as many as with the Samsung Galaxy brand or the Fossil watches, but still enough in my opinion. So of course we have a few pre-installed ones, but you can also download new ones from the OnePlus Health app. You have sporty looking ones, practical ones, dynamic or classic ones. But you can also create your very own watch face, and there are 2 different ways of doing so. So you can either choose a photo from your album and use this one as a watch face, or just take one with your camera, or you can take a photo with your camera and the app creates a few custom watch faces for you with the colors in the pictures, which is a nice feature to have, and I've never seen this feature on any other smartwatch. So the OnePlus Watch also has a speaker as well as a microphone, so you can call your friends and family right from your wrist. The quality of the sound is also pretty good, and you can even adjust the volume while you are calling. Another thing to mention about the speakers is that you can hear a sound once you receive a message, but of course you can turn it off if you want to. Now, in order to call someone, you just have to go to the phone feature and punch in the number, or choose one of your contacts, and I guess that's about it. But one thing to mention is that you will still look like a total fool if you're talking to your wrist. Now, before we jump into some honorable mentions, let's have a quick look at the sleep tracker. And this one is actually pretty good. So you can track your light and deep sleep, as well as your wake time, which seems pretty accurate to me, especially for the part when I went to bed and woke up. It even tracks the naps if you happen to fall asleep during the day, and is doing a good job on that as well. You also get a sleeping score based on your sleeping stats, and an analysis or tips on how to improve your sleep the next time, and a breathing analysis. So let's get to some honorable mentions, and there are a few features that we have not talked about yet, like the weather widget, with which you can see how the weather is today. You have a workout record, so you can look at your past workouts anytime you want to. You have a stress tracker with which you can track your stress 24/7, and a stopwatch and a timer. You have a guided breathing session, and you can control your smartphone's camera. So you only have to tap the watch once, and after a 3-second countdown, your phone is taking pictures, which is a cool feature to have. As for last, let's take a look at the OnePlus Health app. This one tracks all of your stats, so you can look at them anytime you want to. You can start workouts from over here and do a bunch of customizations like swapping watch faces, set app notifications, or customize your health settings. Now folks, what do I think about the watch? Now we have talked a bunch about this watch in this video already, and it basically has all the features that you need in a smartwatch and even more. It is very accurate in all the stat tracking, besides the steps and the mileage, but we have talked about that one already. But regarding the SpO2 tracking, heartbeat, or the GPS, it is spot on. Now this watch not only tracks your stats accurately, but you also get a very nice looking watch, and it even feels high quality. Now, there's one thing that bothers me sometimes, and that is that you can see your fingerprints on the stainless steel bezel, but that's complaining on a high level. So overall, this watch is hands down the best watch you can get in this price range. I cannot think of any other smartwatch, hybrid watch, or whatsoever that can compete with that level of accuracy and quality. Okay, there are a few downsides to this watch. And the first one is that you cannot download any third-party apps, so you don't have any Spotify playlist, Deezer, or whatsoever, which is a bummer. You also only get this watch in the size of 46 millimeters, which is big, I mean very big, and I love big watches, but it's probably too big for most women and even for most guys. If they would made a 43 millimeter case, it would be probably better, but I don't think they can fit all that tech into such a small place. Maybe they can, maybe they will in the near future, but for right now, it's just not the case. So folks, that's already it for the video. If you like it, don't forget to leave a like and consider subscribing if you want to see more smartwatch reviews. It only takes 2 clicks, it's for free, and it will help me out a lot. Now with that being said, see you next time. Peace.